21 reasons why the divine adores Scorpio, and how their mysterious flame ignites our own inner wisdom. Hello, dear friends and seekers on the path to Buddhist wisdom. I welcome you to a journey that combines the timeless knowledge of astrology with the introspective lens of compassion, mindfulness, and spiritual growth. Today, we will dive deep into the heart and soul of one of the most enigmatic zodiac signs of all, Scorpio. We often hear about Scorpios being intense, mysterious, and passionate, but there is far more hidden beneath that calm, and sometimes intimidating, exterior. As someone who has spent many years researching the zodiac from a wide-ranging, cross-cultural perspective, blending Western astrology, Eastern philosophical insights, and personal stories shared by countless individuals, I have become convinced that Scorpio carries an unparalleled spiritual significance. That significance reveals itself especially when we consider why the divine, or universe, or in the original text, God, holds Scorpio in such high esteem. Outwardly, they seem to be mysterious and cautious, but once you peel back the layers, you discover a fierce loyalty, a dedication to truth, and a fearlessness that transforms challenges into opportunities. Scorpio's energy resonates with the idea that wisdom is born out of darkness, that diamonds are formed under pressure, and that true spiritual growth often happens at the very edges of our comfort zone. But before we fully unlock these mysteries, let me invite you to imagine you are settling into a quiet sanctuary, a peaceful, candlelit temple of learning and self-discovery. Let the noise of the world recede. Allow yourself to become present in this moment. The cosmos, both within and around us, has a lot to teach, and Scorpio is a sign that, like the scorpion itself, wields both a protective exoskeleton and a dangerous stinger, yet it also holds within it the power to heal, to love deeply, and to illuminate truths we'd rather keep hidden. We'll explore 21 compelling reasons often shared in astrology circles about why the divine, or the universe, cherishes Scorpio's presence in our world. As the conversation flows, I'll add in my personal insights, anecdotal experiences from various friends and acquaintances, and Buddhist-inspired lessons that might help us all to see these qualities in a new light. You might notice some parallels to the original text you've seen before. But I promise you, the heart of what we explore here is thoroughly infused with expanded commentary, new anecdotes, and fresh perspectives, ensuring the spirit of fair use and transformative content. By the end of this exploration, you'll have a deeper admiration for Scorpio's gifts and a sense of how to bring those gifts to life within yourself. So, let us begin. And remember, if you are not a Scorpio, you still carry some Scorpio spirit within you, those parts of you that are unafraid to wander through darkness to find the light. If you are a Scorpio, welcome, and know that you are profoundly valued along the path to Buddhist wisdom. Reason 21, Scorpio's unbreakable memory, guardians of past lessons. Original core insight. Scorpios never forget actions, be they good or bad. They guard memories with vigilant intensity. Expanded commentary. When I think about Scorpio's robust memory, I often recall a friend from my college days who was a quintessential Scorpio. She remembered every detail of a conversation we had weeks, if not months, earlier, but more importantly, she remembered how she felt during those interactions. That emotional recall guided her sense of trust in the world. For Buddhists, memory can serve both as a source of attachment and a tool for wisdom. We learn from past mistakes, but we also learn to let go of resentment. Scorpios master the first part, learning through deep reflection. Yet they may sometimes hold on to grudges a bit too strongly, which is where the Buddhist concept of compassion might offer them a chance to soften, heal, and transform. It is precisely because a Scorpio remembers so deeply that they have the capacity to evolve into truly empathetic beings, provided they channel their recollections wisely. Why the divine adores it. This unwavering memory demonstrates a sense of justice. They do not let lessons go to waste. They learn. And in turn, they push themselves to grow. Personal example. I once accidentally offended my Scorpio friend by skipping her birthday celebration due to a scheduling conflict. Although the slight was unintentional, she remembered every nuance of that experience. But she also recognized my genuine remorse when I apologized. Over time, we built an even stronger friendship. Her memory of my apology was just as intense as the memory of the initial disappointment. Such is the balanced approach a Scorpio can bring. They do not forget the good either. So kindness resonates powerfully with them. Key takeaway. Approach life with honest intentions around Scorpios. They will remember every act of genuineness, just as they remember any betrayal. When harnessed well, this memory becomes a spiritual practice of mindful recollection, preserving the lessons that shape stronger futures. Reason 20, embracing surprises, hidden joys emerge. Original core insight. Scorpios, despite a guarded exterior, have a childlike wonder for surprises. Expanded commentary. Scorpio's interest in surprises reveals an openness to life's hidden wonders. They might be the kind of person who seems stoic, reserved, or even distant, yet present them with an unexpected thoughtful gift, a spontaneous visit, or an unusual twist in routine. And you'll see that guard drop, even if only momentarily. In many spiritual paths, including the Buddhist tradition, there is an encouragement to develop a beginner's mind and openness to new experiences. Scorpio's curious love for surprises, especially genuine, heartfelt ones, hints at their potential for childlike awe and curiosity. Beneath all that seriousness, there's a deep well of appreciation for authenticity. When they receive a surprise that resonates with their core values, love, loyalty, honesty, they can light up with a gratitude that rivals any sign in the zodiac. Why the divine adores it. This capacity to be unexpectedly joyful is a testament to Scorpio's multi-layered emotional world. It reminds us that even the strongest fortress can be moved by genuine kindness. Personal story. I once planned a surprise road trip for a Scorpio cousin who was going through a rough patch. We ended up in a breathtaking national park. She had tears in her eyes as we arrived at sunrise, and I saw her classic Scorpio composure transform into pure awe. She pulled me into a tight hug and whispered, "No one's ever done anything like this for me before." That outpouring of vulnerable gratitude was worth every minute of planning. Key takeaway. Scorpios teach us that no matter how formidable a person's exterior, genuine kindness and a heartfelt surprise can cut through defenses. They might be known for stoicism, but they can be deeply touched in moments of authenticity, reflecting how the universe adores their capacity for wonder. Reason 19, magnetic attraction to mystery. Original core insight. Scorpios are drawn to hidden truths and complexities. They thrive on depth and shun superficiality. Expanded commentary. Astrologically, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and traditionally by Mars, planets associated with transformation, hidden forces, and intense passions. This resonates with the notion that Scorpio is always peering beneath the facade. They ask, what is the real story here? Or what's being left unsaid? This trait can be mesmerizing. In a way, it's almost as if they hold a metaphysical lantern, shining a light on secrets and unspoken elements of any situation. From a Buddhist perspective, the pursuit of hidden truth is like looking inward for deeper understanding. Indeed, much suffering arises because we do not examine our own mind states. Scorpios do examine them, and they do so fearlessly, to the point where they become an embodiment of that teaching, that we must explore our hidden motivations, our shadow side. to truly be free. Why the divine adores it? Their inquisitive nature is a gateway to higher wisdom. The universe admires those who refuse to accept illusions and who diligently seek authenticity. Personal commentary. I remember an acquaintance at a meditation retreat who was a Scorpio. She had an uncanny way of dissecting people's superficial expressions to expose the core emotion beneath them. While some found it unnerving, I admired how her quest for truth helped the rest of us face aspects of our own inner narratives. Key takeaway. In a world of small talk and surface impressions, Scorpio urges us to look deeper. Their relentless curiosity can lead us closer to truth and transform illusions into spiritual growth. Reason 18. Fearlessness in the face of the unknown. Original core insight. Scorpios are bold, forging ahead where others shy away. They do not let fear control their actions. Expanded commentary. Pictured the process of forging steel in a roaring furnace. That's essentially the spirit of Scorpio when confronted with adversity, where many of us retreat in anxiety or second-guess ourselves. Scorpio meets the moment head-on, sometimes more prepared than we would ever guess. Yet, this fearlessness doesn't necessarily mean a lack of fear altogether. Often, it suggests a capacity to act despite fear. This nuance is important. In Buddhist teachings, the cause of fear often lies in attachment or ignorance. Scorpios, by virtue of their determined nature, seem naturally inclined to do the necessary introspection. This challenge is huge. But I must face it to grow. They feel the intensity, then direct it forward into action. Why the divine adores it? This bravery is a gift to the world, showcasing that genuine power does not crumble in adversity. On the contrary, it is honed by life's storms. Personal example. Another friend, an avid climber and, yes, a Scorpio, once broke her ankle during a hike. Instead of giving up climbing, she spent months retraining, building muscle strength in creative ways. She told me, "I'm not going to let my body or my fear decide my life. I decide." That resolute spirit echoed the unstoppable force that many Scorpios embody. Key takeaway. We can learn from Scorpio's example that courageous action doesn't always mean we have zero fear. Rather, it means acknowledging our fear and forging ahead despite it, turning adversity into a stepping stone. Reason 17. Thriving on challenges, fuel for transformation. Original core insight. Scorpio actively seeks out challenges as a means to grow stronger and wiser. Expanded commentary. Challenges to Scorpio are like churning waters for a powerful, swift river, full of unstoppable energy. Whether it's unraveling a complex psychological puzzle, diving into an ambitious career milestone, or navigating complicated emotions, Scorpio sees all of it as a chance to metamorphose. In Buddhist teachings, no mud, no lotus is a famous saying. The lotus flower grows in muddy waters, symbolizing that beauty arises from adversity. Scorpios embody this ethos. They do not flinch from delving into the mud of confusion or hardship. In fact, many of them take pride in their capacity to engage wholeheartedly in the process of overcoming obstacles. Why the divine adores it? They remind us that self-actualization is forged in the fires of difficulty. The universe treasures those who let challenges refine, rather than break them. Personal story. I once saw a Scorpio co-worker volunteer to lead an exceptionally difficult project that the rest of us were wary about. She embraced the chaos and ended up delivering a phenomenal outcome. Throughout the process, she was unwavering in her quest to learn, adapt, and grow. That real-world demonstration exemplified how Scorpios shine when the stakes are high. Key takeaway. We can approach life's hardships with determination, Much like Scorpio, we should view challenges as stepping stones toward enlightenment, or at least toward a more profound understanding of self and reality. Reason 16, a magnetic, passionate aura. Original core insight. Scorpio's energy is strong, enchanting, and impossible to ignore. They put intense focus into every endeavor. Expanded commentary. Have you ever met someone whose mere presence demands attention without them saying a word? That's the Scorpio vibe. They carry themselves with a kind of discreet pride, and inner calm that hints at powerful undercurrents. In love, work, or personal hobbies. When they commit totally. In a spiritual sense, this passion resonates with the principle of right effort taught in Buddhism. When effort is driven by sincerity and unwavering focus, transformations occur. A Scorpio does nothing in half measures, which is why they often stand out. They may not always advertise their power, but when they do let it out, the intensity can be jaw-dropping. Why the divine adores it? Their unwavering devotion to what they love is reminiscent of the fierce devotion a mystic might show to a sacred practice. It's the ultimate expression of living wholeheartedly. Personal perspective. In my younger years, I joined a community theater group that a Scorpio friend of mine also attended. He played a minor role in the production, yet the passion he poured into that part was staggering. After the show, people kept coming up to him, remarking on his stage presence. He didn't do anything flashy, but the focus and emotional commitment he brought was palpable, like a magnet. Key takeaway. Scorpio's passionate aura invites us to live with total commitment. If we could bring even a fraction of their intensity to everything we do, our lives might blossom with newfound purpose and memorable achievements. Reason 15, seeking quality over quantity, profound intimacy. Original core insight. Scorpio wants genuine connection and meaningful intimacy, rather than fleeting encounters. Expanded commentary. When it comes to relationships, of any sort, romantic, platonic, or spiritual mentorship, Scorpio would rather have one deep connection than a dozen shallow ones. This preference for depth aligns closely with the Buddhist principle of quality over quantity. In spiritual communities, we often hear the advice that a few close spiritual friends, those who truly understand and uplift you, are more valuable than countless acquaintances who only know you on the surface. Scorpio's approach to love is similarly profound. They relish understanding a partner on multiple levels: emotional, intellectual, spiritual. Seduction, for them, is an art form that transcends mere flirtation. It involves reading the undercurrents of the other person's soul and revealing one's own vulnerabilities slowly, like opening an ancient treasure chest. Why the divine adores it? Their hunger for depth ensures that they engage with the soul behind the face. Such sincerity is a powerful, transformative force. Personal reflection. I once interviewed a series of couples about how they maintained passion over decades. Unsurprisingly, a Scorpio husband described how depth, not just physical attraction, kept their bond strong. He insisted that he and his partner were twin flames on an eternal journey, reflecting the typical Scorpio intensity. It was a profound testament to how real intimacy transcends superficial attraction. Key takeaway. A Scorpio's desire for quality connections invites us all to cherish the people who see us for who we truly are. Below the surface, deep, authentic bonds are priceless. Reason 14, embracing both control and chaos. Original core insight. Scorpios do not shy away from taking charge. They thrive in turbulent scenarios and prefer steering their destiny. Expanded commentary. We often hear control issues associated with Scorpio. Yet, it can be more nuanced than that. A healthy, Balanced Scorpios' drive to control arises from a desire to guide their life's course according to their own principles, rather than letting external forces push them around. If you think of chaos as a swirling storm, Scorpio aims to be the calm eye at the center, or even the force orchestrating it for a higher purpose. In a spiritual lens, this is reminiscent of the concept of skillful means. Sometimes, controlling the environment can be beneficial to foster the conditions for personal or group well-being. When Scorpio uses their leadership in a mindful, compassionate way, they become a beacon for others in chaotic times. Why the divine adores it? Their capacity to command a situation in challenging circumstances shows initiative, resilience, and responsibility, qualities that serve the greater good when tempered by empathy. Personal example. At one point, I was part of a rapidly expanding non-profit that faced organizational chaos. A Scorpio colleague stepped in, reorganized processes, and brought structure where there was none. While she was indeed forceful at times, she ultimately ushered the non-profit into a period of stability and growth. That experience exemplifies how Scorpio can transform chaos into opportunity. Key takeaway: leadership doesn't always mean controlling others. For Scorpio, it means crafting an environment conducive to transformation, a truly powerful gift when applied with wisdom. Reason 13, words and kisses, their secret weapons of connection. Original core insight. Scorpio's method of expression, whether words or physical affection, can be captivating and transformative. Expanded commentary. In the original text, there's mention of Scorpio's lips being a powerful weapon. What does that mean in a broader sense? It means that when Scorpio decides to speak or show affection, it is done with intent. They can articulate truths in ways that cut through illusions, or they can convey love in a manner that leaves a lasting imprint on the other person's heart. Words have power, especially in spiritual paths where mantras, chanting, or mindful speech play critical roles. Similarly, a simple gesture can become sacred if done with the proper mindfulness and emotion. Scorpios embody that principle in how they communicate. A single phrase can carry a world of meaning, a single glance can convey volumes. Why the divine adores it? Their ability to communicate passion and authenticity is reminiscent of how deeply felt prayers or mantras move the hearts of spiritual devotees. It's a divine spark in everyday life. Personal anecdote. I once witnessed a Scorpio friend inspire a whole workshop group with just a brief but emotionally potent sentence. He said, "The only person who can truly betray you is yourself." In that moment, I felt a collective shiver among the participants. That's the Scorpio power of words, a stinging truth that resonates deeply. Key takeaway: Scorpio reminds us that communication, both verbal and nonverbal, is potent. When used mindfully, it can heal, inspire, and awaken a deep emotional response in the people around us. Reason 12, indecision, a shield for their standards. Original core insight. Scorpios can be slow or hesitant to make crucial decisions, but it's because they take them seriously. Expanded commentary. Sometimes, a Scorpio might be labeled indecisive, but from their perspective, it's not about aimless wavering, it's about evaluating all sides before making a commitment. They understand that once a line is crossed, or a choice is made, there's little turning back. Consequently, they'd rather deliberate carefully. In a fast-paced world that often values quick decisions, Scorpio's careful approach might seem old-fashioned, but it's deeply rooted in the desire for authenticity and alignment with core values. In Buddhism, there's an emphasis on right intention. Making a rushed decision might lead to regret, whereas a mindful decision, though slow, ensures we move in harmony with our ethics and aspirations. Why the divine adores it? Because they take decisions to heart, aligning them with their moral and emotional compass. The universe appreciates sincerity in choices. Personal story. I recall a friend who spent ages deciding whether to adopt a dog from a shelter. She is a Scorpio and weighed every pro and con meticulously: work schedule, finances, future commitments. Though others teased her for taking too long. Once she made the choice, she poured her heart into caring for that dog. It was a lifetime commitment she never once regretted. Key takeaway. Though we live in a culture that prizes instant decisions, Scorpio shows us the merit in slow deliberation when it comes to matters of the heart and soul. Reason 11, trust, hard won, forever kept. Original core insight. Scorpios struggle to trust but remain unwaveringly loyal once they do. Expanded commentary. The fortress of Scorpio's heart is well guarded. Gaining entry is akin to deciphering a complex labyrinth. But if you succeed, you'll be met with intense loyalty that seldom wavers. This principle reflects the universal truth that scarcity often increases value. Because they bestow trust sparingly, it becomes all the more precious. In spiritual parlance, trust is a major factor in personal relationships, mentorship bonds, and connections with teachers or guides. Scorpios demonstrate that trust is not to be given lightly. You might also see parallels in Buddhist refuge. The wise do not take refuge in the wrong teachings but search long and hard for a trustworthy path. Scorpio's guardedness is similar. They will not open up to those they sense are shallow or harmful. Why the divine adores it? A loyal heart is a powerful force of connection. Divine love often resonates with bonds of genuine dedication and integrity. Personal reflection. I once had a Scorpio roommate in a shared living situation. It took her months to trust me enough to share about her personal struggles with anxiety. But after that, she'd check on me whenever she felt I was down, unfailingly. Her loyalty ran both ways. Once the door was open, it stayed open. Key takeaway. Respect the protective walls a Scorpio erects. If you prove your sincerity, their loyalty is a gift you'll treasure, an enduring lesson in the power of unwavering commitment. Reason 10, zero tolerance for betrayal. Original core insight. Scorpio is known for its intense reaction to dishonesty. Forgiveness is rare once trust is broken. Expanded commentary. We might wonder why Scorpio is so unforgiving regarding betrayal. Think of trust like a sacred flame. If someone extinguishes that flame through deceit, it's exceptionally challenging to rekindle. In a broader human sense, it's a reminder that actions matter, and words alone may not rectify certain wounds. However, there is also a spiritual nuance. In Buddhism, we discuss compassion and forgiveness as essential virtues. Scorpios might find it difficult to practice unconditional forgiveness, but that doesn't negate their own path of growth. They may eventually come to a place of acceptance or letting go, though it often happens privately, in their own time. It's crucial to understand that their condemnation of betrayal signals a powerful commitment to truth. Why the divine adores it? By holding people accountable, Scorpio upholds the cosmic standard that deception ultimately harms everyone involved. Truth becomes the ultimate currency. Personal commentary. I've seen Scorpio acquaintances cut ties swiftly when a friend lied about a critical matter. While some might find this harsh, the Scorpio's viewpoint is, if you disrespect me at that level, you're effectively telling me how little this bond means. I deserve better. It's an all-or-nothing approach, which can be painful, but it underscores the seriousness with which Scorpio values honesty. Key takeaway. We might all learn from Scorpio that respect and trust are priceless. Once shattered, they're hard to reclaim. We can aim to handle relationships with more care as betrayal carries lasting consequences. Reason 9, natural skepticism, a self-defense mechanism. Original core insight. Scorpios question people's motives and are rarely fooled by facades. Expanded commentary. Some see skepticism as cynicism, but for Scorpio, it's more like a finely tuned defense system. They sense ulterior motives with remarkable acuity, an ability that helps them sidestep traps or manipulations. It's akin to the watchful vigilance taught in many spiritual traditions. Remain mindful and discerning about who you trust and what influences you let in. A helpful parallel appears in certain Buddhist sutras that warn practitioners about false teachers or unwholesome associations. That's not to say one should live in paranoia, but rather cultivate a wise caution. Scorpios do this instinctively. Why the divine adores it? Their skepticism protects the sanctity of their heart. They teach others that it's okay to question, to analyze, and to preserve spiritual and emotional well-being. Personal experience. I once approached a business proposal with naive optimism. My Scorpio cousin took a single glance at the contract, raised an eyebrow, and pointed out glaring inconsistencies. Her doubt saved me from potential legal headaches. That's Scorpio's protective intuition in action. Key takeaway. A dash of healthy skepticism can save us from heartbreak and betrayal. By scrutinizing people's intentions, we maintain boundaries that safeguard our integrity. A wise lesson for any spiritual seeker. Reason 8, mystique and guardedness in Scorpio women. Original core insight. Scorpio women can be especially private, revealing themselves only to those who earn their trust. Expanded commentary. While privacy is an attribute of many Scorpios, Scorpio women often radiate an almost mystical aura. They do not share their personal narrative with every passerby. Indeed, they want to see genuine signs of understanding and sincerity before they peel back the layers. In a spiritual context, safeguarding your inner life is like protecting a sacred shrine. Not everyone should have access to that space. The Scorpio woman reminds us that self-respect includes establishing firm boundaries. One does not have to be an open book to be warm or caring. Sometimes, preserving a sense of mystery also preserves personal energy. Why the divine adores it? Their mysterious, reserved nature sets them apart in a world that often demands instant oversharing. It's a testament to inner strength and discernment. Personal example. I've known a Scorpio woman who rarely posted on social media. People in our circle teased her for being secretive, but her close friends treasured her genuine presence in real-life interactions. Whenever she did share about her personal journey, it felt like an honor, giving us profound glimpses into her heart. Key takeaway. In a culture of constant self-disclosure, Scorpio women represent the beauty of guardedness. Sometimes, the most authentic connections require taking it slow and verifying trust step by step. Reason 7, when Scorpio is angry, you will feel it. Original core insight. Scorpio's anger is intense and unmistakable. They refuse to mask genuine feelings. Expanded commentary. Anger, in spiritual traditions, can be a tricky emotion. Buddhism warns about the destructive nature of anger, but it also acknowledges that suppressed anger can lead to resentment and suffering. Scorpios prefer to express their anger openly rather than pretending it doesn't exist. This approach has pros and cons. On one hand, it might be jarring for those around them. On the other, it's refreshingly genuine. It's important to note that not all Scorpios explode in rage. Some channel their anger into decisive action or meticulous boundary setting. But, if you really betray them, their anger can manifest in icy silence or pointed words. Either way, it's a clarion call: respect me or leave. Why the divine adores it? They embody authentic emotional honesty. By not suppressing anger, they push themselves and others toward addressing real issues instead of burying them. Personal story. A Scorpio friend once confronted me about an offhand comment I made that she perceived as disrespectful. She didn't sugarcoat her frustration. Although it hurt to hear her words, it also forced me to consider the impact of my remark. Ultimately, that confrontation led to better understanding between us. Key takeaway: we can learn the importance of facing conflict head-on. While not advocating for aggression, honest anger can lead to resolution and growth when handled constructively. Reason 6, engaging Scorpio in battle. Be prepared to lose. Original core insight. If you try to out-argue or corner a Scorpio, they'll hold their ground with unyielding determination. Expanded commentary. Scorpios are formidable in intellectual and emotional debates. They do not argue for the sake of arguing, they argue because they're convinced they have a point. Their thorough memory and intuitive grasp of a situation make them difficult to beat in a head-to-head clash. In spiritual or philosophical dialogues, a Scorpio can be a fierce debater if they believe the concept is flawed or if they sense hypocrisy. While some signs might step back to preserve harmony, Scorpio is more willing to confront the tension in the pursuit of truth or personal principle. Why the divine adores it? Their conviction is unwavering, mirroring the divine's unwavering truth. Scorpios refuse to compromise on core values. Personal perspective. When I was in college, a Scorpio classmate passionately challenged a professor's viewpoint in front of the entire lecture hall. Far from being insolent, her questions were methodical and incisive. The professor later admitted that the discussion helped him refine his own theories. That's the power of Scorpio's unwavering stand. Key takeaway: strength of conviction, when coupled with sincerity, can dismantle even deeply entrenched ideas. In learning from Scorpio, we see that a just cause defended fearlessly can bring profound change to any environment. Reason 5, living free from others' opinions. Original core insight. Scorpio does not obsess over public perception. They follow their internal compass. Expanded commentary. While many of us struggle with societal approval or the fear of judgment, Scorpios tend to rely on self-validation. They remain conscious of how others behave but ultimately do what feels right to them, not what gains them popularity. This is reminiscent of the Buddhist notion of not self, which encourages us to see beyond the illusions of external validation and to live from a more authentic place. This unique independence is a breath of fresh air in a world saturated by social media likes and public approval. Scorpio teaches that your worth does not hinge on consensus. You can walk your own path, so long as it is aligned with your moral center. Why the divine adores it? They demonstrate the freedom that arises from self-respect. Divine love shines through those who remain unwaveringly true to themselves. Personal experience. I have a Scorpio neighbor who dresses in bold, unconventional outfits and undertakes philanthropic projects without seeking media coverage. She never once asked for others' opinions regarding her style or her charitable actions. She pursues them because they reflect her sense of purpose, exuding an admirable take-me-as-I-am attitude. Key takeaway: authenticity is more important than chasing approval. Scorpios model this principle, encouraging us to find our voice and remain loyal to it, even if it attracts critics. Reason 4, winning a Scorpio's heart, a marathon, not a sprint. Original core insight. It takes persistence, patience, and genuine effort to earn Scorpio's love. Expanded commentary. Scorpio's selective nature implies that potential friends or lovers must prove their sincerity. This slow journey of earning trust might be frustrating for those seeking instant gratification. Yet, from a spiritual standpoint, slow and steady is often the best path. Rushing relationships can yield shallow connections. True intimacy, be it romantic or platonic, needs time to form. Scorpio is like a locked chest containing rare gems. You will need the key, respect, honesty, empathy, and the determination to figure out how those keys work for them. Love is sacred, and they will not let it go to just anyone who passes by. Why the divine adores it? Their high standards maintain a sanctity around love and loyalty, reinforcing that devotion should not be trivialized. Personal anecdote. My best friend, a Scorpio, spent almost 3 years casually but consistently getting to know her now husband before they labeled it a relationship. Many of us on the sidelines wondered why it took so long. But once she decided, it was a bond sealed by mutual trust and dedication. The depth they share is a testament to the benefits of patience. Key takeaway. True love worth having is rarely quick or easy. Scorpio's approach of measured caution ensures that once love blossoms, it is robust and enduring, a lesson in mindful connection. Reason 3, distance and selectivity in relationships. Original core insight. Scorpio's close circle is small but rock solid. They avoid trivial connections. Expanded commentary. We live in a time of networking and mass communication, where having thousands of online friends is common. Scorpio counters that trend by curating a more intimate circle. The people they let into their inner sanctum are few but profoundly significant. This curated approach resonates with the Buddhist emphasis on good spiritual friends, who help us maintain an upright path rather than leading us astray. Far from arrogance, Scorpio's distance can be interpreted as mindful curation. They don't want to waste precious emotional energy on those who cannot reciprocate or respect their depth. Why the divine adores it? Their loyalty to a few chosen companions underscores that meaningful bonds are sacred. The divine admires this dedication to genuine relationships. Personal story. I remember a Scorpio colleague who rarely attended large group outings but would host small, meaningful gatherings at her home. She said, "I'd rather have 4 people who truly know me than 40 who barely do." That sense of selectivity created an atmosphere of authenticity in her living space, fostering deeper connections among her closest friends. Key takeaway. Like Scorpio, we can learn to focus on quality over quantity in relationships. By carefully choosing trustworthy companions, we foster communities that support genuine personal growth. Reason 2, respect, the secret key. Original core insight. The fastest way into a Scorpio's heart is by showing respect, authenticity, and strong character. Expanded commentary. Scorpios' belief in mutual admiration means they hold themselves to high standards and expect the same from others. Respect for them involves honesty about intentions, emotional sincerity, and consistent behavior. They do not require flattery. Indeed, flattery can backfire if they sense it's manipulative. In spiritual terms, respect aligns with the concept of loving kindness, but with boundaries. The notion is not just to be kind but also to be real. For Scorpio, superficial politeness without genuine feeling is a clear sign of inauthenticity. Why the divine adores it? By placing respect at the forefront, Scorpios encourage healthier, more honest interpersonal dynamics that can foster collective elevation and growth. Personal reflection. I once tried to impress a Scorpio professor with compliments about her research. She politely nodded but remained guarded. It was only after I engaged her ideas in a sincere, in-depth conversation, challenging and admiring them equally, that she warmed to me. Our respect was rooted in genuine discourse, not empty praise. Key takeaway: we thrive when we respect one another enough to be truthful. Scorpios show us that real connection demands mutual esteem. Forget shallow niceties, bring your honest self to the table. Reason 1: no room for negativity. Original core insight: Scorpio actively removes toxic influences from their life, prioritizing emotional and mental health. Expanded commentary: spiritual traditions worldwide emphasize the importance of staying clear of harmful energies. Scorpio's intolerance of negativity echoes teachings on the need to protect our mental and emotional well-being. There's a difference between facing negativity with compassion and allowing it to consume you. Scorpios typically draw a hard line. If the negativity threatens their sanctity, they cut it off. This boundary upholds the principle that we must tend to our inner garden. Once negativity or toxicity seeps in, it can multiply if not checked. Scorpio's approach is to weed it out decisively, preserving the fertility of the mind and soul for positive growth. Why the divine adores it? It shows self-respect, clarity, and decisiveness. The divine admires those who choose to foster an environment that nurtures growth rather than destruction. Personal example: I recall a Scorpio manager who immediately addressed any backbiting or gossip within her team. She encouraged open dialogues but refused to let negativity fester. That approach created a cohesive environment where issues were tackled directly rather than spread covertly. Key takeaway: we can learn from Scorpio's readiness to cut off unhealthy influences. Tenderly but firmly removing negativity is an act of profound self-love and respect for the overall harmony of our lives. Extended reflections and stories: Scorpio's duality, the saint and the sinner. Scorpios have a reputation for being both the saint and the sinner simultaneously. How is that possible? Through my research and personal observation, I've found that many Scorpios exhibit a moral intensity that can come across as saintly when aligned with a higher cause, fighting against injustices, championing the underdog, or demonstrating unyielding loyalty to friends. However, if they feel wronged or manipulated, they might channel those intense energies into what some label as darker pursuits, revenge, sabotage, or a near-obsessive quest to expose a betrayer's secrets. Story: the saint. A Scorpio friend of mine was involved in a fundraising campaign to renovate a local homeless shelter. She poured her heart into organizing donation drives, personally reached out to volunteers, and even took on extra shifts at work to contribute her own funds. Her entire demeanor was that of someone on a mission to alleviate suffering, selfless, empathetic, unstoppable. Story: the sinner. Contrast that with another Scorpio acquaintance who discovered her partner's infidelity. What ensued was a methodical, borderline Machiavellian plan to gather evidence, confront the unfaithful partner publicly, and ensure that everyone saw the truth. Some might argue it was excessive. She maintained it was justice. In the end, she said, "I only want to show the world who he really is." To her, moral indignation justified the means used. Moral for the spiritual path: both aspects highlight Scorpio's unwavering commitment to what they believe is right. If harnessed positively, they can be saintly agents of change. If fed by negativity, they can become formidable opponents. This duality echoes the Buddhist understanding of the mind's capacity for both compassion and aggression, and the importance of guiding the mind toward virtue. Scorpio in daily life, practical examples. 1. Workplace dynamics. A Scorpio boss might demand uncompromising excellence from their team. They'll quickly weed out slackers and reward genuine performers with lasting respect. On the flip side, a Scorpio underling might crave autonomy. They might not appreciate micromanagement, seeing it as a sign of distrust. 2. Friendship circles. Scorpios' ride-or-die mentality is invaluable in close friendships. They'll offer unwavering support if they sense your loyalty in return. However, being part of a Scorpio's circle also means respecting their boundaries. Casual meddling or gossip can swiftly sever ties. 3. Romantic partnerships. Partners of Scorpios often speak of a profound emotional bond, a sense that the Scorpio truly sees them. This depth fosters an intimate closeness. Yet, maintaining this closeness requires honesty and consistent respect for the Scorpio's autonomy. Betrayal or dishonesty is rarely forgiven. 4. Family ties. Scorpio children might display intense curiosity and a refusal to accept "because I said so" as an answer. They might ask tough questions, requiring transparent explanations. Scorpio parents often have strong protective instincts and may micromanage their child's environment for safety. Balancing guidance with the child's independence can be a challenge. Buddhist parallels, the Scorpion and the Lotus. It might seem unusual to merge the archetype of Scorpio, a sign that can be vengeful, passionate, and mysterious, with Buddhist teachings that emphasize equanimity and compassion. Yet, there is a hidden harmony. The Scorpion's nature, stepping through desert heat, darkness, and rocky terrain, parallels the spiritual journey that involves overcoming illusions, confronting shadow aspects of the self, and ultimately transcending them. The lotus, beloved in Buddhism, grows from mud, an apt metaphor for Scorpio's capacity to transform darkness into light, to bloom from adversity. Scorpio's mud. Betrayal, heartbreak, pain, or a sense of isolation are often the emotional mud that a Scorpio experiences. However, these experiences rarely break them. Instead, they push Scorpios to develop an unshakable sense of self. The lotus bloom. Through adversity, Scorpio refines their spirit. Whether they become a fierce champion of truth or a compassionate protector of loved ones, the process is akin to a lotus blossoming. This transformation demonstrates resilience, one of the most essential virtues on any spiritual path. Cautionary tales, when Scorpio's intensity backfires. To fully appreciate Scorpio's qualities, we must also acknowledge potential pitfalls. When a Scorpio's intensity is left unchecked or is misdirected, it can harm themselves and others. Obsessive jealousy. If Scorpio becomes fixated on the idea that they've been wronged or that a partner is unfaithful, they may spiral into near obsessive behavior. Constant suspicion can erode a relationship that might otherwise have flourished. Emotional manipulation. Some Scorpios, in pursuit of control, may test or manipulate loved ones. They might engineer scenarios to prove loyalty, unwittingly pushing people away. Self-destruction. The same intensity that propels Scorpio to success can, in negative circumstances, become self-destruction. Substance abuse, destructive relationships, or isolation can result if they internalize pain rather than seeking healthy outlets. The light side of Scorpio, compassion, devotion, and support. On the other hand, when Scorpio allows their heart to open to compassion and empathy, they can be a tremendous force for positive change. Protector of the vulnerable. Scorpios often champion those who cannot defend themselves, friends, family members, or even strangers facing injustice. Healing power. Their depth of understanding can help them offer remarkable emotional support. Scorpios can hold space for others' pain, having themselves experienced the raw edges of despair. Unconditional devotion. Once truly committed, be it to a romantic partner, a cause, or a project, Scorpios channel boundless energy into ensuring its success. They can be unstoppable allies. Lessons for non-Scorpios. Even if Scorpio is not your sun sign, or even anywhere significant in your birth chart, the Scorpio ethos can guide you in multiple ways. Practice mindful silence. Sometimes a Scorpio's silence stems from deep reflection. Embrace moments of quiet as opportunities to contemplate your life's direction. Embrace shadow work. Face your inner fears and insecurities rather than burying them. Scorpio's fearless approach to emotional shadow work can lead to profound self-awareness. Balance passion and compassion. Learn to apply Scorpio's intensity in ways that do not harm yourself or others. Focus that passion on noble goals, channeling the energy into building instead of destroying. Story A: The Scorpio and the Zen Master. In a distant monastery, there was a Scorpio novice with an unquenchable thirst for wisdom. He tirelessly meditated on koans that perplexed other novices. Where they gave up, he persisted. This novice's teacher, a well-respected Zen master, grew impressed by his disciples' resilience. One day, the master asked, "What do you fear the most?" The Scorpio novice replied, "Discovering that my efforts are for nothing." The master answered, "Then fear not. Your efforts themselves contain the seeds of enlightenment. One who does not give up is already a beam of light in this world." Moral: the Scorpio's refusal to retreat in the face of mental challenges is a spiritual asset. Buddhism and astrology converge in praising unwavering perseverance as a path to liberation. Story B: A Scorpio's confrontation with betrayal. In a small village, a Scorpio shopkeeper discovered that a long-time employee was stealing merchandise. Filled with righteous anger, she wanted to report the employee to the authorities. Yet, she also felt a pang of compassion, suspecting the theft might be motivated by desperation. After deliberation, the shopkeeper decided to confront the employee directly, offering them a choice: rectify the wrongdoing, repay the losses, and sincerely apologize, or face legal consequences. The employee broke down, confessing they needed the stolen goods to support a family member's mounting medical bills. Struck by empathy, the Scorpio devised a repayment plan, even assisting the employee in seeking financial help. While the trust was never fully the same, this story illustrates how a Scorpio might navigate betrayal, direct confrontation, unwavering insistence on truth, and ultimately, tempered empathy. The Buddhist angle here is recognizing that behind wrongdoing can lie suffering, which might be addressed through a combination of accountability and compassion. Conclusion: drawing the final lesson. We have now traveled through 21 reasons, and far beyond, why the divine, or the universe, or however you name the sacred, holds Scorpios close to its cosmic heart. From their unwavering memory to their fearless confrontation with adversity. From their quest for deep connections to their ability to transform chaos into opportunity. Scorpios stand as potent reminders that intensity can be a pathway to enlightenment if directed wisely. In the tradition of the path to Buddhist wisdom, we consistently encounter teachings about walking the middle way, neither indulging destructive impulses nor repressing our emotions. Scorpios highlight the high stakes of emotional extremes and show us a blueprint for harnessing that intensity in a constructive, powerful manner. When they walk with compassion, respect, and authenticity, few signs can match their depth. Scorpio is, after all, a sign of transformation, like the caterpillar dissolving to emerge as a butterfly, or the phoenix rising from the ashes. Indeed, Scorpio's capacity to shift from the scorpion to the eagle, a symbol sometimes associated with a higher vibration Scorpio, demonstrates that spiritual evolution is possible for anyone, even those harboring deep wounds or fiery emotions. For you, dear viewer, whether you carry Scorpio placements in your chart or simply resonate with the lessons shared, I invite you to reflect on how you might harness your own intensity. Could you be more fearless in tackling life's obstacles? Might you cultivate deeper trust with a few select individuals rather than spreading yourself thin? Would it serve you to adopt a more mindful approach to anger, direct, but not destructive? These are the profound questions that Scorpio energy stirs in us. A final blessing. May each of us learn from Scorpio's example, to see beyond illusions, to love fearlessly, to uphold our boundaries, and to transform life's hardest hits into catalysts for growth. Wherever you are on your own path, I hope this journey through Scorpio's mysteries has illuminated new possibilities for self-awareness, authenticity, and resilience. Thank you for joining me on this long and winding exploration of Scorpio's soul. If you found any wisdom here, please carry it forward, share it, discuss it, or simply let it permeate your everyday life. After all, knowing is only the first step. We must also live our truths. Remember, each sign offers distinct insights, but Scorpio's depth is truly one of a kind. A whisper from the universe that says, dive deeper, do not fear the dark, and within that darkness, find your light. Keep traveling your path with courage and mindfulness. Until next time, friends, I bow to the fiery depth that resides in all of us. May we let it guide us compassionately onward.